right now we're about to have a conversation. A very interesting conversation, I would say, because when I heard about it, I was like, why? Guys, today is World Mosquito Day, and I asked the question, why are we celebrating mosquitoes, especially knowing that mosquitoes are responsible for some diseases like malaria, Zika, dengue, and so on. But today is all about World Mosquito Day, and we are going to be, talking about it and know why it's important that we talk about World Mosquito Day or even create awareness about mosquitoes during this day. So in the studio with me is Professor Samuel Kwekudazi, who is an associate professor of medical entomology at Noguchi Memorial Institute of Medical Research at the University of Ghana, and Bertie Boa, who from Greater Accra Regional STMIE, and she's a coordinator there for GES and country director for NASA Globe Program. You are welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Why World Mosquito Day, and why is it important for us to actually mark this day?
Right. Thank you very much. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Good morning to the viewers as well. So, as you said, people ask, why are we celebrating mosquitoes? But generally, it's a very important day in the history of science.
Okay.
Because hitherto, especially malaria, people associated malaria with different things that cause the disease.
Yeah.
So, for instance, malaria actually means mal air, bad air.
Mal air.
Mal air.
That's French.
Malaria.
Yeah.
Bad air. So people thought if you breathe some kind of air, then you get malaria. But it took one scientist called Sir Ronald Ross in 1897 to be able to demonstrate and show the link between the mosquito and the parasite that transmit the disease.
Right.
So that was a groundbreaking discovery. Actually, he was given a Nobel Prize. And so through that, it's now very easy to control the disease because you know what really is causing it. So that's a significant milestone in our fight against malaria. And so that day has been set aside, which is 20th August, celebrated annually, to commemorate the day and bring ourselves back to the fact that we also want to continue the fight against malaria.
But how has mosquitoes actually changed the course of human history, particularly when it comes to public health?
Yeah, you rightly said before even we started the program that mosquitoes are deadly insects.
Very.
Why are we worrying ourselves? But yeah, of course, you know the importance of mosquitoes. They transmit several diseases, parasites, viruses, So within the global health landscape, they are very important, especially because of the bedding of the disease that they cause. We all know about malaria. Children are the most vulnerable. And so having knowledge of it and also understanding the behavior of the mosquito and understanding all the issues about the mosquito help us to devise strategies against, controlling them.
Okay. All right. So, Bertie, I'll come to you. Can you tell us about the current research focus that you are working on and how it actually contributes to the fight against, mosquitoes and the diseases that they bring?
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to extend greetings to all STEM coordinators across the country, especially the 16 regional STEM coordinators led by Mrs. Olivia Sewell-Parry, a very hard-working woman who is trying to change or bring a lot of innovation into the science education system like the STEM. So back to your question, mosquito, the vulnerable people, the vulnerable group they are the children. And education deals with children. And so Ghana Education Service embraced a project that's called the Globe Project.
Globe Project.
Yes, which seeks to train students to do real-time environmental research with scientists. And gone were the days where when we talk of research, all that we know is just going to the internet, do this and do. But now Ghana Education Service, with this Globe program, is moving away from that, taking the children to the ground. Go and study something within your environment and know what you are interacting with in your environment. So with our project, we interact with the environment, we study water quality, air quality, clouds, atmosphere, and the flagship program that today we are here, the mosquito habitat mapping. And it uses the citizen science approach, where individuals, it doesn't matter you are a scientist or you are a community-based member or you are a student, you have the opportunity to go into the gutters around you, stagnant water, to just pick a mosquito larvae. We have a lens and then a customized microscope, digital one that NASA have developed, to give it to students who are interested to know the type of mosquito or the species of mosquito they are staying with. So these students will go into their community, sample the mosquitoes within the community, so they will know the various species of mosquito they are living with within the community. And so when the child falls sick or he's having fever, the mother will not say, I'm going to treat malaria. Because mosquitoes spread different kinds of diseases. So if within your house, you are able to know that you have Aedes, you have Anopheles, you have Calyx, then you know that the sickness or the symptoms that the child is exhibiting doesn't mean that go to the pharmacy or on the counter and buy a drug. You have to rush the person to the hospital. So that is all the project is about. How would they be able to identify the species of mosquito? And this time round, our project is concentrating on Aedes. Because of the dengue virus that we've identified in the country. We want to know the various schools that we've selected some schools anyway. It's a pilot. So we want to begin with few, and then as we go ahead, we add on. And when we get sponsors, we add on.
So you talked about, working with students or, helping students with research. When you say students, what age range are we looking at?
Okay, so when you look at Ghana Education Service, we deal with a pre-tertiary institution. So even at this age, we want those that are matured enough, not the vulnerable ones. So beginning from age 10 up to the secondary level. So this is some of the things that we are doing. And that's the customized microscope I talked about. So the students are around 12 to 18. So they will fall between JHS, upper primary, and secondary school. So these are the students we are dealing with.
Okay. All right. So, Prof, let's talk about some mosquito-borne diseases. What are the most prevalent mosquito-borne diseases globally? And let's start with looking globally, and then we'll come down to Ghana. What are some of them?
Well, globally, at least we all know about malaria. So malaria is still the #1 cause of death globally, responsible for almost 500,000 deaths annually. So much progress has been made in malaria control recently. And for us in Ghana, especially, the malaria elimination program has done a yeoman's job to bring malaria deaths down. And currently we are in the elimination phase of malaria, which is good news.
Wow.
Yes. But then with all the climate change and the other things, urbanization, globalization, we have some emerging viruses which are coming up, in many countries. Globally, dengue is one, disease which really is affecting many countries globally now as we speak. And even in Africa, West Africa, we're having several countries with outbreak, including Ghana, just recently. We also have Zika. You've heard about Zika. Zika comes also as outbreak. Unfortunately, we have not yet felt that here, but in many countries, Zika is a challenge. And these are all transmitted. We also have chikungunya. Chikungunya, that's the name. It's also a disease transmitted by the Aedes mosquitoes. So the Aedes actually can transmit. So is
Aedes like the most dangerous mosquito right now?
Yes, so we say malaria is transmitted by the Anopheles mosquito.
Anopheles malaria.
Yes, and then we have Aedes.
I mean, Anopheles is for malaria.
Right?
And then the
Aedes is for Zika, chikungunya, yellow fever, and dengue.
That's it.
Yes.
We need to kill the Aedes. It's a problem.
So and these Aedes live right around us. In fact, their larvae breed in the water containers that we keep in our houses. So we actually live with them. And many people even don't know that these are mosquitoes they are breeding in their water containers. So we have other species, but the two most common ones that
All right,
public health challenge
Yeah.
are the Anopheles and the Aedes
So that's what we have on
mosquitoes.
the screen there. Anopheles, malaria, lymphatic
Yeah, so these are the three
filariasis.
different types. So you have Anopheles
Way.
transmitting malaria, in some cases lymphatic filariasis.
That's
you know,
elephantiasis.
The
Yeah,
elephantiasis,
elephantiasis.
right?
I never knew
in
it was
Ghana, they also
mosquitoes.
transmit elephantiasis.
I
yeah.
never knew it was mosquitoes.
Yeah. You
So
see
it's
this,
very
they call it J-print, you
Yes,
know,
those-
these huge
yeah.
legs, hydrocele, you know, they are transmitted by mosquitoes. In Ghana, it's Anopheles mosquitoes. And so Culex also, unfortunately, in many countries, you have Culex being responsible for transmitting West Nile virus, for instance. In Ghana, we have some investigations ongoing to find out whether we have the virus here or not. So mosquitoes generally are important for global health. And so that's why for us, the World Mosquito Day, we are having this program and launching this Glow Plus program.
Yeah.
And this is the fair we are trying to bring research to the community.
Yeah.
So we are partnering with the Ghana Education
Yeah.
Service. You know, Noguchi is a household name in Ghana.
Yeah.
And we've done a pilot before,
Yeah.
4 years ago, which was very successful.
Yeah, so why do you think it's important to actually, do this project with students and not households?
Yes, so I think Betty will
Okay,
answer
so
that.
I always talk about attitudinal and behavioral change.
Right.
If you want to change a system, it's not the adults, because it's very difficult to change somebody who has gained knowledge.
Yes, it's
for about-
engraved with certain,
So
knowledge.
before you change the person, you have to help the person to undo
And
and unlearn, relearn. But when you pick a child and you let the child see, practice, handle, touch, the child is able to understand very well, and they are able to spread the news very
Agents
fast.
of change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
in most
and for me, I
communities.
always say that the future is the children we
Yeah.
are having. And so if we adults were not able to do this, then let's send it, because at the time the child will grow to 20 years, he has already formed his mind.
Yes.
And he knows all about his
Yeah.
environment. So if he is even eating and throwing it away, he knows the cause. If he is keeping water
Water
in the house,
containers, yeah.
he knows what is going to happen. If daddy brings a tie and
He
put
knows,
it in the house and he is not draining the water, the child will be able to tell that, daddy, this mosquito,
Yeah,
this
breed
tie
Aedes, yeah.
is breeding Aedes, and we
Yeah.
are going to die.
Yeah.
And you know, children have passion.
Yeah. For
That is
example, the AC water that people drink.
very good.
Anyway, we talked about water. There's water here. I don't
Yeah.
know what we are doing with
So
water
we
since
just
we are running
brought
away from
some,
mosquitoes.
you know, mosquitoes
mosquitoes
spend,
are here.
they have 2 life stages. They have one part of their life they spend in water. So that's the larvae. Then once they become adults, then they're out of water. That's when they are coming to
bite
look for
us.
blood. Yeah,
Yes.
look for blood. Actually, they need the blood for their eggs.
Oh.
Yeah, they feed
right.
just to get protein for
So
their
they
eggs.
don't even realize that they're
Yeah,
giving
so it's
us
just a way
diseases.
of getting blood.
So that's their life.
Thank you. So that's why we don't have to be killing them all the time.
Oh my God.
So we have here just larvae of the Anopheles mosquito. Fortunately,
Right.
we don't have that for Aedes.
Right.
But they are all different depending on how they move in the water.
Oh,
And
so
how-
it's how they move
Yes,
that you
how they move on the surface.
that determines
Exactly.
what it is.
And how they hang, you know, because they have some tubes that they breathe with. So those tubes have to be always pointing outside the
Outside from
water.
us.
Okay.
So they bring air. So some hang down. Those are the Culex and Aedes.
Okay.
The Anopheles lie parallel to the surface.
So that's what it's doing.
Exactly. So all these are Anopheles mosquitoes. And then you have some which are common shape. Those are the pupae. The stage that, you know, from the start stage they get to the adult stage.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the pupae here by noon this afternoon, all of them will have emerged to adults.
What?
Yes, by noon. You see some of them are common shape in there, you know. So,
So when you say adults, they emerge to mosquitoes.
yes,
Yes.
the adult mosquitoes that come out to bite you. So, these are the larval stage. And at this stage, it's very easy to control them.
So at the larva stage, how long does it take for them to be in the larva stage to transition to the adult
So,
stage?
we were talking about climate change, you know.
Right.
Mosquitoes, especially the larvae, depend a lot on temperature. So the higher the temperature, the better for them, and they spend much shorter time to develop to adults. So if the temperature is rising, then you have other species that probably will not be here, being able to come in to become vectors. So we have what you call invasive species coming in.
All right.
So temperature is key. Normally for water that's temperature of almost about average room temperature, you should have larvae develop for within 2 weeks or even a week.
Right.
So if they hatch to larvae, within a week, all of them are out,
Wow.
become adults. And each adult female can lay about 300 or more eggs. So if one can lay, so you can imagine the numbers.
Yeah. So
you know.
is it breedable? Or
No.
it's
So
actually airtight?
normally because this is not appropriate, because normally we create air so they can breathe,
All
but
right.
they need air.
Okay, yeah.
So we actually perforate sometimes
Right.
the container just to allow air
All
in.
right.
Yes.
So,
So for instance, if I pour it here,
so they're
you
not
can-
going to fly out, right?
No. These are not the adults.
So they look like tadpoles, actually.
Yes.
Exactly. So these are the larvae, and you see the way
So
they move.
if
They
you can
jerk
see-
side, and these are our anopheles larvae.
Yeah.
Those that the mosquitoes that transmit
Yeah.
malaria. Yes. And of course,
Right.
during this project, we are going to give students all these tools, so they are able to collect the larvae around the environment. They identify the larvae, take a picture of it, send it to us at Noguchi, and we validate that data.
Oh, so basically you are working with the
Exactly,
students.
exactly. So
yes.
we go back and give them feedback as to whether they are doing well. And then we also have developed a curriculum that GES has had a look at. And we are using that, working with the science teachers to train them on basic mosquito biology.
Wow. I feel like this is very, very interesting. You're doing
But the
well.
interesting aspect is that, you know, it is open to everybody. What we want to do, we are working with students, but we want the entire population to know that when you have your phone, we have an app called Globe Observer app.
Okay.
When you get any lens or any magnifier, you can just attach it to the app. The app will help you to
Globe
enlarge.
what?
Globe Observer
Observer,
app.
all right.
Yes, you can just enlarge it, and then it will give you the various features that identify each of the larvae. So you'll be able to know that. So it's not, even though we are working with students, we want the populace to be interested in this project.
All right.
So that even within your own house, you yourself can use the app to identify which mosquitoes you are living with.
All right.
Because the app also gives you opportunity to have the features. They have the features in it,
Yeah,
so
to
it can
understand it,
align
yeah.
for you to understand. And then our partnership with Noguchi is very critical at this point, because we want the student to work with researchers. So we have what we call the scientific process in our curriculum, in the Ghana education curriculum. So students must be able to go through the scientific process of solving issue. We don't want the hearsay, hey, they said this, no. Back your decision with data, and it begins with students. So if they are able to gather data, they see it. When they are talking,
All right.
they talk
Thank
to
you
data.
So, right.
And just
Thank
to
you.
add, the GLOW is actually, the name is Global Learning and Observation to benefit the environment. That is
Right.
what GLOW stands for.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here on the stage with us. I mean, this is a very innovative initiative, and I wish you well in
you.
it. And because I realize you're also creating researchers right now.
Actually, we are
So-
launching the project this morning.
Okay.
So from here, we are going to Noguchi.
Well,
we have people waiting
right.
for us there.
All right.
To go and officially launch the project.
All right, thank you so much. So we've been having a conversation about World Mosquito Day, and we've seen how mosquitoes are important to us and how important it is for us to know what kind of mosquitoes that we live around with to protect ourselves and families.